recording.
On the side, I probably shouldn't sing copyrighted music.
It's fine.
Didn't that
Ta-da!
happen? Didn't that happen to one of your channels? Didn't you get like copyright claimed?
I got something. I don't know what the.
Hey, from
Anyway,
the gridiron to the pitch went live.
I know, right? And I have like a big.
Wow.
We need to get you like monitors or something because I feel like I have such an advantage having OBS on one monitor. I
Oh, it's
have
fine. It's called I just use different windows.
I have Pro Football Reference on one monitor, and then I have the main bracket being
Oh,
screened on one.
if you think that I'm going into this prepared at all, you would be very wrong.
I won't say I'm prepared, but I have the stats up if the game is close enough and I need to make like somewhat of an educated guess. I mean, we did our picks already. One of the picks from our episode that went out today, I honestly might be flipping after
Oh,
seeing some stuff. Um, but anyway, anyone that is watching, which I don't, it's fine right now.
yeah. Nobody's doing
Welcome
that.
to our first like sports talking live stream here with From the Gridiron to the Pitch. My name is Wesley. I am live here on YouTube. As you see, pinned YouTube comment if you want to go check out my brother Micah, who is doing his own stream. He's on our Twitch channel, which the link is down here below. And those of you listening on Spotify, you can always go back to Twitch and YouTube and watch if you want to for some weird reason. But NFL playoffs are here. It feels very weird that this is where we are. But here we are. I think we're just gonna start in the AFC. I think is a lot more straightforward in this first round than the NFC is. Personally, I mean, if anyone listened to this week's episode, they'll know most of our picks. But the first game, is that actually the first game of the weekend too? It is the first game of the
First
weekend.
game of the week.
Wow, so this actually does like sort of go. What does it? The NFC just doesn't care about order.
No,
Texans and Chargers. The Texans did win that AFC South. The AFC South is terrible. The AFC South is horrendous.
AFC South is a lot of things.
You got starting quarterback for Tennessee, likes putting mayo in his coffee.
Yeah.
You got Trevor Lawrence. I don't know what kind of season he had this year. I know he got hurt at one point, but he
got like murdered by Aziz or whatever his name is.
Oh, that was the play. I forgot about that. That was against the Texans, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. I'm taking the Chargers. But that's the point of this.
I don't think the Texans really have. I mean, they have a shot, and I think it could be close. But I think the Chargers. I think Herbo is. He needs that time to prove himself, even though he needs an actual receiver.
He does. It's been tough for him, honestly. It sort of sucks with the division they're in too. It's now becoming more competitive with Bo Nix now. We have two divisions on each side that have 3 playoff teams, which is.
I was like, who's the one in the NFC? And it's the North.
It's the North. I mean, then the NFC East has 2. Well, then I guess the AFC North also has 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, the sad thing is CJ Stroud, I feel like I can't say he regressed because I don't think he was terrible this year, but from the standards of how he was as a rookie, I don't think it was nearly as good of a season. He had 20 touchdowns. If he did throw 12 picks, though, that was the difference from the year prior.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I like CJ Stroud. I like him a lot. 20 touchdowns, 12 picks this year, and 23 touchdowns last year, and only 5 picks. That's tough.
Dang.
That's doubling. Going from a 1% intercepted by average attempting a pass minimum, blah blah blah. He has like 2% of the time he's throwing an interception. So it's just not.
Yeah.
So let's take Herbert, which I really like Herbert. We also happen to like Oregon, so I think we're a little biased towards Oregon quarterbacks.
Jay Harbaugh.
But they will be moving on.
Ravens Steelers. Again, I don't think that this is. I think this is going to be a very one-sided game.
I do too. I think Baltimore.
I think Ravens.
I could see the Ravens maybe start a little slow because they could be
Hmm.
looking ahead to next week. Because I do think they think they're the superior team, like a lot of people do. Ravens win. I mean, everyone jokes about Lamar Jackson and his like playoff success. They're, I feel like, historically good in the first round.
Yeah.
It's after that is when you start questioning them a little bit.
Hmm.
Lamar is just too good. I like Lamar. It's
Lamar B.
I like Lamar. So we're both taking the Ravens. I don't even want to talk about the Steelers. They're a
Yeah.
mess. Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson. You got
Steelers City. Let's steal.
yeah, pretty much. You know, what I've trying to think of like in comparison with the Steelers. With the way the receivers act, it almost feels like, well, they're not like speeding and killing people.
Georgia.
Players are.
They're
Um,
just crashing out. I mean,
uh,
well, I guess technically, George Pickens was from Georgia.
he was from Georgia, so it fits. He came from that. I don't know what it is. The
Bro, Kirby
receivers.
Smart's like torturing every player on his team.
Kirby Smart's doing something, but you know what? You know why it's okay? Because Notre Dame beat them last week, so I'll take it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Buffalo and Denver.
I think the Bills. I mean,
I think the Bills too. I like to give the Broncos a chance
mhm.
because that Denver team has been fun,
Yeah.
but
I think
that doesn't
I think
make
the
up.
Bills are just too good.
Bills are just too good. Josh Allen is
MVP caliber right now.
MVP caliber. I believe their defense is really good too, which is I think something they have lacked in the past
Hmm.
because defense rankings. I mean, Buffalo has is third with creating 32 turnovers this season. To me, that's just
That's
especially
just
against
crazy.
a rookie
Yeah, I was gonna
quarterback.
say against a rookie QB.
So, oh, and the other thing with the Chargers have allowed the lowest amount of points. I know we talk about the Eagles having the best defense in the league. The Chargers have only given up 301 points this season. So
Dang,
that could be something else looking forward going forward in these playoffs because I didn't realize their defense was that good this year because I don't
I didn't either.
really pay attention to the AFC West.
I don't think people associate the Chargers with good defense.
No, I think that just comes from Harbaugh though, because
Yeah.
Michigan always had really good defenses under Harbaugh.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, I'm gonna take the Bills. I want to see the Broncos. I would love to see. Well, the Chargers, I guess, are lower seed, but I feel like they're better than the Texans. I'd love to see one of these lesser teams maybe break through, but I don't think it's this year. I don't think it's the Broncos.
I don't either. I think.
Next year, I think the Broncos will be where the Chargers are, but I think the
Mhm.
Charger and Broncos team, I'd love to see one of those two teams overtake the Chiefs as number one in the AFC
I honestly, I think
West.
if the Chiefs keep going the way they are, this like how they were this season, I don't think they'll win the AFC. I don't think they'll win the AFC next season.
No, I'm just gonna say let's just keep going through the AFC. Finish up the
Yeah.
AFC, then we'll like go to the NFC side of the bracket. So the next round would be Chiefs, Chargers, and Bills, Ravens.
Um. As much as I hate to say it, I think the Chiefs will win that game. I mean, the Chargers, yeah, they're good, but the Chiefs, I mean, it is
No,
Mahomes.
I agree. And you know the other thing that's impressive with I'm like really hyping up the Chargers. Not only have the Chargers allowed the least amount of points,
Hmm.
offensively, they have the lowest turnover percentage of their offensive drives ending at a turnover. They're at 4.4%, which is lowest in the league. So they're not
Dang.
turning the ball over either. I know the Chiefs had to have a good defense. So that's like something else to look at with this playoff run is it doesn't
Hmm.
seem like Herbert's throwing the costly interceptions. They're not having running backs. Who even are their running backs at this point?
Isn't it J.K. Dobbins? It's
I don't
J.K. Dobbins and Zeke.
it was Jake. Yeah, they just picked up Zeke because Gus Edwards just, I believe, is questionable for the game, which those are two former Ravens running backs
Yeah.
playing for the Chargers. Um, I think Zeke will be more like a fullback. I don't know what Zeke is doing. He doesn't
Yeah.
feel like I just
I don't think he knows what he's doing.
I don't think he knows what he's
And then
I do,
Bills
I do
Ravens.
think the Chiefs are too good though. I think the
I
Chargers
think
have a
they're too good for the
chance.
Chargers. Yeah.
Chargers have a chance with that defense, but
It's also in Kansas.
it's in Kansas City. Out of those matchups, I know they didn't lose to them earlier this year. I don't know who.
The Chiefs lost to Denver and Buffalo.
They lost to Denver. Ooh. Oh well, yeah,
Well, that was
they
like
got.
38-0.
I'm about to say that doesn't count.
Even
I'm
though they almost lost to them earlier.
almost lost to the Chargers.
Mm-hmm. Where was it? At SoFi or Arrowhead?
Game. It's a home game at Arrowhead. It was a Sunday night game against the Chargers that ended 19-17.
Ooh, it's an ugly game.
And then the earlier matchup at SoFi was 17-10 for the Chiefs. So both of those games were low scoring and fairly close. But Chiefs have rest. I'm gonna take the Chiefs.
Yeah.
As much as part of me doesn't want to, I'm gonna have to take them. Bills Ravens. This might be better than whoever placed the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah. I feel like this is the AFC Championship game. I think these are the two best teams in the AFC.
They're just too good. Both of them.
Did they play each other earlier this season?
Let's take a look. Baltimore.
This is not
Cincinnati Bengals, Chargers.
the Bills.
I don't think so.
They did not.
Yeah, I'm not
They
seeing
did
it on
not play.
here. No, that they did not play. I will say the Bills defense, they force the most turnovers at 17% of the time when they're out there. They end a drive forcing a turnover, which to me, that's a big freaking deal. Forcing turnovers is big, especially this time of the year, especially against a quarterback like Lamar Jackson that's only thrown, what, 2 interceptions this season?
I think it was 2 or 3, yeah.
He is 4. He's up to 4 interceptions now, but he's 41 touchdowns to 4 interceptions.
That's crazy.
I just think that is crazy. As a team, I don't think they're turning the ball. Yeah, they're right around where the Chargers are and only turning it over 6% of the time, but the Bills only turn it over 4.6% of the time. So these are two teams that don't turn the ball over much, which that's a big deal coming into this. And they're both right there with points too.
I mean, we've had questions recently about the Bills with because that 49ers game, wasn't that really shaky for a little bit?
It was shaky. I think down the stretch, some of these games were a little.
You lose by 2 to the Rams. You almost blow it against the Lions. Beat the Pats by 3. Kill the Jets, and then your rested team loses to the Pats barely, but
still their full strength team almost lost to the Pats 2 weeks before.
Oh wait, no, they did play the Ravens. They played in week 4.
They did. Oh, and they lost. I remember that.
In Baltimore, though.
So this will be in still at 35-10. That might have been their worst loss of the season.
Yeah. Well, because that was definitely that was their biggest loss.
Yeah, that was definitely their biggest loss. Oh my gosh, I don't know how I missed that.
I think they've rebounded so well from that game. I mean, they beat the Chiefs, which was good. And I mean, they looked really good against the Lions for the majority of that game.
They have. I think my biggest worry is specifically with the Ravens. I think Zay Flowers got hurt.
Yeah.
Last week, so he's questionable coming into game against the Steelers, which I think doesn't matter, gives him time to get healthy. If he's not healthy for that Bills game, I don't know who Lamar is necessarily throwing it to. I know Mark Andrews was iffy early on in the season. I think he's gotten better. They've gone away from him and started throwing to Isaiah Likely, their other receiver. I mean, tight end. They like the tight ends in that offense. I don't know what it is. They really
horrible on tight ends.
They really don't seem what it is. But also Derrick Henry. I don't know if anyone can stop Derrick Henry. If you have to worry about,
there's a white corner in the NFL that can stop Derrick Henry.
I don't know about that.
Cooper DeJean, suplexed him.
Cooper DeJean can, yeah, I don't know about that. Still think it's funny that the Eagles have, I think they have two white corners. But
Oh yeah, there's also Blankenship.
yeah, I'm gonna take the Ravens. I think Baltimore wins. I honestly think this is bleeding over to the next game. I think this is the year the Ravens break through. I don't know if they win it. It depends on who we get to the Super Bowl against them, but I think they're going to get to the Super Bowl. This team just feels like they're peaking at the right time. They struggled mid-season, and I think they're just rolling right now. So I'm taking the Ravens.
I think the Bills win it, and I think this is game of the year.
Yeah, I'd definitely game of the year. It's going to be rivaling that Chiefs Bills playoff game from like what 3 or so years ago, whatever that was. Yeah. Okay, so you got Chiefs and Bills. Who are you taking in that matchup?
I'm taking the Bills.
Okay.
I don't really like the Chiefs like in that game. You know?
Yeah, no, I get you. I think the Chiefs are going to struggle against the Chargers, and I still think that having that much time off, like we talked about, I think this earlier this week, is the team resting their starters and having that bye week. I think they historically either don't make it to the Super Bowl or they lose it. So I think that trend's going to continue. And that's going to go over to my game too. I think the Ravens beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead. Ravens are going to get revenge from last season where they probably should have beaten the Chiefs in Baltimore. Yeah, either way, I think we both had the Chiefs losing.
Yeah.
It's nothing against that team. It's nothing against them necessarily. This has been a down year for Mahomes. People upset that he didn't make the Pro Bowl is silly to me because he wasn't one of the best quarterbacks this year. That's not saying he's not like one of the best ever to do it because he's won all the games. He's played really well, but I dare say that
not this year.
Maybe he's declining a little bit. I know we had these conversations about Tom Brady about this time of his career.
And so then what, he like three-peated?
Yeah, but it's not going to happen. We got Ravens are doing it. I don't think the Chiefs are not making it again. They're not winning it again this year. It's not happening.
No, I don't think so.
On to the NFC, which this might be the wildest.
Yeah, this is a crazy NFC bracket.
Rams and Vikings.
Yeah, I don't care who you think you are, you're not beating the Vikings like round one.
I just don't know. That's like my thing. I've gone so back and forth on that. The Rams did beat the Vikings earlier this year. The Vikings are without their left tackle, Darisaw now. And that Rams defensive line is very good. Let me see. Where are they with sacks? Percentage of drives ending on offensive. I don't care. Where are you? Sacks. Statistic you show me here. Come on, your Pro Football Reference. What do you whatever? I know that they get a lot of penetration up front. A lot of people figure that they just have fallen off because of the loss of Aaron Donald because he did retire, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't pay that much attention to the West Coast teams. From what I understand, they're still pretty good.
They have, that is not right. Oh, that's sack yards. Okay. They have 38 sacks on the season.
I guess that's not that.
Brandon Fisk has 8.5, or Braden Fisk.
Boy, do I
Byron Young with 7.5.
Like, bam, boy, do I not know that name.
I think he's a rookie.
Makes sense. Just trying to see. Looks like Cooper Kupp and both Puka and they're both doubtful. You know what? That details it says non-injury, but they're doubtful.
That's weird.
Accurate are you? Well, that's a week 8. You know what? I think I'm going to stick with the Vikings just because that offense has been very good. I think it's going to be incredibly close. I would not be surprised if it goes the other way.
Yeah.
The Vikings team has been too good this season. I do think it would be funny because they got their first loss against the Lions earlier in the season and then immediately lost to the Rams. What if they just lost to the Lions in week 18 and immediately lose to the Rams again? I don't think it's gonna. Vikings get their revenge, and it's not going to be the only team that gets their revenge in this wild card round. Commanders and Buccaneers.
Give me Washington.
I am scared to death that so many people are on Washington in this. But the biggest thing, oh no, wait a second. I had a statistic up, but I completely lost it. Where are you, Tim? Oh, that is what I want to look at. So, again with the turnovers, to me that's just a big deal in the playoffs. Now that's a statistic I keep going to. But Tampa Bay turns the ball over like they're in the top 10. They're the worst playoff team with their turnover percentage to end each drive. Which is a big deal for a Washington defense that does not force a lot of turnovers.
Yeah.
we just don't. So a team that's going to need the turnovers, we're matching up against a team that, I mean, because Baker Mayfield takes chances. He throws the ball around. He reminds
Baker does not care.
He reminds me a lot of Brett Favre. And I think the defense might. I think they're going to get it done. We're also supposed to get Marshawn Lattimore back, so it'll be nice to see what Marshawn Lattimore can finally do, because we only saw him for like 3 quarters against the Saints, and then he re-aggravated that hamstring.
And, it'd be interesting to see. What I don't know how good Marshawn Lattimore is. When covering Mike Evans, so that'd be kind of interesting.
I think he has a good. Is that a statistic?
Oh, I was just talking because they hate each other.
Oh no, but I'm curious now. Since they did play against each other so much, I don't think that's a statistic they're going to show me. So I guess there's no like straight statistic of him against Lattimore, but it looks like Mike Evans' stats versus the Saints in 21 games against the Saints. He has 72 catches, 1,000 yards, and 5 touchdowns in 21 games against the Saints.
That's
only averaging
that's 50 yards a game,
and only 5 touchdowns in 21 games. So assuming most of that is against Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah.
I don't know how long Lattimore's. So it's like, obviously I don't know, just because
he's been there for quite a while. I mean, also you have Mike Evans with his 11th straight 1,000-yard season,
which I think is awesome. I mean, I'm happy they made it happen. I know a lot of people are like, man, if I was the other team, I would have like quadruple covered him and just had Baker throw the ball to someone else in the last play. I'm like, just let him have the record. Not that big of a deal.
And he needs one more to take the record. He's tied Randy Moss right now.
Is it? Well, I thought it was Jerry Rice.
Yeah,
whatever. They're both awesome receivers.
Yeah.
But like we've said before, if Jaden Daniels has the ball and it's a 1-score game and he can go down and win the game with like 2 minutes left, even like a minute, I think they're going to win the game. Jaden Daniels has just done it time and time again this season.
He's done it too much this season, honestly.
Like he's
had to do it too much this season.
So we're taking the Commanders with this next pick. This is another one I've sort of gone back and forth on a little bit. Packers and Eagles, another game they played earlier this season. Every game in the NFC side, these teams played each other either to start the season or like the first few weeks of the season.
Yeah.
Eagles beat the Packers in Brazil. It was that whole like, why do you have 2 teams in Brazil that are wearing green playing each other? I saw something earlier that Hurts is out.
Oh.
Espen. I was one of the guys that I watched that does streams was talking about it.
That's not the right thing.
Eagles. Jalen Hurts. It just says questionable, but I swear I saw someone say something somewhere. Maybe it was on Twitter. He was out. Even if he is out, a completely depleted secondary for the Packers. And they're also now not going to have Christian Watson for receiver. Jordan Love is questionable because he got hurt.
Romeo Dobbs is questionable.
Like I trust in a backup quarterback for Philly just handing the ball to Saquon 50 times to beat this Packers defense. Like,
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean,
I think
I'd
yeah.
love to see the Packers win. Like, to me, that'd be awesome. But I don't think
Hmm.
if it happens, I'm happy I'm wrong. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Eagles are going to go on and play Minnesota.
Bro, if you showed anybody the NFC playoff side, like the bracket, like if you showed anybody this like 3 years ago or like 4 years ago, bro,
I feel like if you would have showed them like to start the season and be like Vikings, Sam Darnold, no way. Commanders rookie quarterback, no way. Um,
the
like,
Lions winning the NFC, no way.
yeah, no. Um, yeah. So Lions Commanders, this one hurts. Because I don't think anyone's beating the Lions. I mean,
I don't
maybe
either.
I just don't. They're just too good. Even when their defense is so porous and just lets anyone score anything on them,
Hmm.
because defensive statistics point against. Where are my lovely? Even then, I still don't think that defense.
No, they still have a pretty good defense. I mean, their passing defense is terrible, but their rush defense is crazy.
Like they're still like, yeah, no, that they're not. When it comes to they're seventh and only allowing 342 points. I don't know why it
Hmm.
feels like they do let up a lot of points. I guess it's because these last
I
few
think it's
weeks
these last few games, yeah.
they have allowed a lot. Um, but I don't think it's not even their defense. That's the thing. I don't think Washington's defense can slow down the hell
Yeah,
Detroit's doing right now.
because I think with the Lions, it's not you can't outscore them. You have to like yeah, you just have to try and keep up and hope they slip up.
In a game like that, you need a good running game to burn the clock.
Hmm.
Which I mean, Jaden Daniels, I feel like could like help, but they don't have a running game. Washington has nothing. We do have there's Eckler is back. He did play against Dallas, so having Austin Eckler back is huge. But Brian Robinson has been non-existent since that Eagles game where he fumbled the ball 3 times.
Yeah.
Like I think he's lost all confidence. There's no confidence in that running game, and you can't expect Jaden Daniels to run the ball 10 plus times every game. You just can't.
No.
If you want him to survive. So as much as it sucks, it would be awesome to see a DMV Super Bowl with Washington against Baltimore. I gotta take the Lions. It's
Yeah.
Lions onto the
Yeah.
NFC Championship game.
Yeah. I have to agree. I think Detroit. I think it'll be close. Probably. I think it could be close at the half, and then the Lions. They're just gonna pull away.
If Washington can hold the Lions to only like maybe 2 touchdowns in the first half, then maybe they have a chance to do something. If they're losing like 14-10 and Washington gets the ball at half, then that might be a different story. But it's gonna have to be that kind of thing where
Yeah.
it's very situational. But either way, I don't think it's gonna happen.
I don't either.
Eagles and Vikings in Philadelphia is notoriously a tough place to play in the playoffs. These two played each other for the NFC Championship game. What was that, 2018? It's probably been 2016. It's been probably a while since they won that.
That Super Bowl with Doug Peterson.
Probably
I
been a while.
think. I think. I think Philly wins this game, and I think it's because of Minnesota's path for what they're gonna have to do.
Okay.
Because I saw something. It was if they beat the Rams, they have to fly back from LA. Because what is the 13th? But that's 5 days away. So that's I don't know. I can't do that math. That's like a Tuesday or something, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, no,
13th is
that's
Monday. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Monday. So yeah, I think they get back like they wouldn't probably get back until like Tuesday morning. Like realistically. I mean, I guess Tuesday morning for us.
Yeah.
And then I think they fly out like Tuesday or Tuesday afternoon or Wednesday morning for their game, which I think it's like I don't know when it is, but it's like early.
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna be so dead, and then your defense is gonna have to stop Saquon.
And I think they're going to play a very competitive game against the Rams too. So that
Hmm.
that might be tough. They might be worn
And
down.
I could honestly see that Rams game going into overtime.
Yeah, I think it very well could go in. Um, Not only like Philly has a really good defense, they could
Hmm.
probably easily double cover Justin Jefferson. Because I don't know, they don't really have anyone else on offense.
There's Jordan Addison, but I don't know if he's like hurt.
Taking
Let's
it looks like
see.
he's fine. Like,
There's there's
wise.
Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson,
Oh, I forgot about TJ.
but that's basically it.
Yeah, that's that. Oh, we got Cam Akers coming up. Yeah, TJ Hawkinson. But like Justin Jefferson is like half of that offense, like yard wise receiving,
Oh yeah,
1,500. So it's just gonna be tough. He gets so many targets. If he gets shut down, Sam Darnold has no one else to go to.
mm-mm.
I guess it would depend on Aaron Jones. I didn't realize Aaron Jones had 1,100 yard season. He only had 5 rushing touchdowns though.
Because that's also 900 yards less than Saquon.
Still, that's still. I didn't even realize he had a good season with them. I haven't
Yeah,
heard. That's very crazy. I hate that you're probably right. Not for like the same reasons they didn't play this year. Then we didn't. We division
we
didn't.
didn't get the North. We get them next season though.
We get them next. That schedule doesn't look as bad for a team that finished second in the NFC East. It's not a bad schedule for.
No, it's really not.
Yeah, I'll take Philly. Even if even if Hurts is out, which
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to think he'll be back because that concussion injury will be almost a month from when this happened. So yeah, I'm taking the Eagles. But if Hurts isn't back for this NFC Championship game, I think the Lions like 1,000% win.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, I think the Lions win regardless. I think the Lions, they're just too good.
because we got
And
top offense against top defense in this game. Be very
yeah,
interesting.
and I think Philly, they're gonna want to rely on Saquon, but you're not gonna be able to do that against this Lions team where they can just score so easily. And um I think it's going to be really tough for Philly to try and utilize Saquon and keep up in this game. And I mean, because Philly, they haven't really put up crazy points this season.
No, they have not.
I
Aside from
mean,
like a
they're two
handful of
top they're two
games.
top scoring games, or they're top scoring games. The Packers, they put 34 up, Bengals 37, Rams 37, Commanders 33, Cowboys 41,
See that.
and 34. So I mean, yeah, they like can put up 30-point games, but there's also a lot of games where it's mid 20s, and you're playing a team that is putting up almost 40 points a game.
Yeah. That's gonna make it tough. And like looking at the teams that they put those points up against,
Mm-hmm.
on the Green Bay, I mean, that was their health. Probably Green Bay's healthiest of the season. They don't have a great defense. It was against the
Yeah,
Bengals, who have a terrible defense this year. Giants, not a great defense. Jags, not a great defense.
Cowboys
Um,
suck.
Cowboys suck. I mean, they did put up 33 points against us, but also in a loss. So showing that their defense allowed a rookie quarterback to score 36 points when they turned the
And
ball
also,
over 5 times.
our defense sucks.
Yeah, our defense sucks. So it's like looking at some of these stat lines, it's yes, they're very good. But I think if Saquon is shut down,
Mm-hmm.
and it seems like AJ Brown and Devontae Smith have had some injury issues throughout the season.
Yeah.
And if Hurts does not bounce back from this concussion, I think the Lions roll.
Mm-hmm.
On
Yeah,
on
I
the other
think
side, the
so.
Ravens Chiefs game will be competitive. I don't know if this will be close
As
going into
competitive.
late third quarter. I think the Lions maybe pull away.
Mm-hmm.
So Lions, you got Lions and Bills. You have a first time Super Bowl winner on your side. I got Lions and Ravens.
Yeah.
New Orleans, February 9th. What a crazy Super Bowl. Either side, this would be a crazy Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Big offenses, lots of points.
Yeah.
Where are you looking for your matchup?
I mean, obviously, when you look at Lions Bills, you look at the Lions Bills game from earlier this season,
Mm-hmm.
and the Bills looked good in that game, but the ending of that game really scares me.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, they were up, what? They were up 35-21 going into the fourth, and they were up. It was 38-21, then 38-28, 45-28, then 45-35, 48-35, and then 48-42. So I think, you look at the ending of that game and it's really worrying for Buffalo. And I mean, obviously, Detroit lost and Dan Campbell's kind of a psychopath. But I think the Lions, they're just too good. And I really don't think you can beat the Lions.
Okay. So you got the Lions beating the Bills in, man, we have a lot of teams having revenge games against teams in these playoffs, and it looks like the team that lost that first matchup has been winning the second match. Which
The only one that we didn't take was Philly, Green Bay.
Yeah.
And I guess Chiefs, Chargers, but that doesn't count.
Yeah, the division stuff doesn't count, just like the Ravens and Steelers doesn't necessarily count. Ravens Lions, I really like that Ravens offense. I know defensively they've not been terrible. Like the Ravens, they're historically a really good team. I mean, this season has not been their best, but I think that's just because they have a lot of younger players on that back end of the defense. With like Kyle Hamilton back there. Who's their corner?
Marlon Humphrey.
Thank you, Marlon Humphrey. He's had some injury issues this season. I know looking at injuries right now doesn't matter about like in a month with the Super Bowl, but like they don't have any major injuries. I'm looking at their report right now going into these playoffs. They got nothing. Like this is, I think, the first time I've seen a healthy Ravens team come in like this. See, I don't even see Flowers on the injury report anymore. So whatever he had this past weekend clearly isn't a problem. Like Lamar Jackson is having. It's funny that he's having a better season than his last MVP season, and it's still like a toss up. People are like Lamar or Josh Allen. I'm like, it should be Lamar because he's putting up stats. The Ravens, it is a 2-man show. I think the Lions are a complete team.
Yeah,
they have their offense just meshes so well. Dan Campbell runs ridiculous plays. Defensively, I heard that their DN, what's his name from Michigan, will be back. Dan Campbell said if they make it by the Super Bowl, they think he might be back. I don't know why you would rush it. I would like, if you guys are rolling, I would honestly probably just not. Is my thought. But I did see him say something somewhere where he's like, oh, he could be back. But it's just very tough because to me, this is like a dream Super Bowl scenario for me because it's two teams. I would not be mad if either team won this game. Same with your matchup. Well, your matchup would be awesome because you'd see two new franchises finally win a Super Bowl. That's not happening this year, though. I'm taking the Ravens. I think Lamar Jackson gets that Super Bowl where people can stop doubting his legacy. I think he really solidifies that role as, yes, I can't say the top quarterback in the AFC, but he's officially number 2 in my mind.
Yeah.
So I got the Ravens over the Lions. I think it's going to be tough. I think, to me, the biggest factor is I know a lot of people want John Harbaugh out of town. I think they've been trying to run him out of town just because of some stuff. I think his coaching decisions, I think who he is as a coach, I think he can outsmart Dan Campbell in those psycho situations that Dan Campbell likes to run the most ridiculous plays. yeah, so that's that. So we pretty much went the whole way agreeing on everything except you took the Bills over the Ravens and then I took the Ravens over the Bills. So that was really our only difference going into this. I think there's a few spots where I could see stuff getting flipped. Like,
Yeah.
like if the Vikings get a really good situation and the Eagles are down Hurts and Devontae Smith,
Devonta
or
Smith and
like if one of those
or
two is out along with Hurts,
yeah,
I could easily see the Vikings winning, but I don't think it matters. I think the Lions still win.
yeah. I think no matter what, it's gonna be the Lions in the Super Bowl.
It's gonna be the Lions. I think the it's no disrespect to the Chiefs on the AFC side. I just don't think they're that good this year.
No.
I just don't. The Chargers
They,
probably could beat them, but I'm
I
not
think
picking
they're
that.
slowly getting figured out.
I do too. And I think if the Chiefs somehow do make it to the Super Bowl and somehow win it again, like somehow, I do think that Travis Kelce retires and that takes away their really only offensive weapon because he's
Yeah.
declining. He's not playing that great. Um, and Mahomes is how many years is Mahomes into his career at this point? Remember when he got
He was what backup to Alex Smith.
way back in the day? Patrick Mahomes. Uh, 2017 was when he was drafted. So he's almost to that 10-year mark.
I think that was almost the same year as I don't remember if it was the same year or like around the same year. I think Josh Allen was the year after.
I think Josh Allen was 28. Yeah, 2018. Yeah. So like they're both around the same, and then Lamar was 2019, if I'm mistaken. Or no, I think he was the same draft as same draft. He played about 8 less games. No, 2018. So both Lamar and Josh Allen are the same draft class. Mahomes is just a year ahead of them. That feels weird. I cannot believe they've been playing that long. Holy crap.
Yeah.
And again, I guess Josh Allen was overshadowed by Brady for a few years because he was still in New England. And
Mm. I think the beginning of Lamar, what did they still have Joe Flacco? I think his first season was Joe Flacco's last.
yeah, because I think they struggled a little bit. Then Lamar came in for the final 7 games of that season. He went 6-1 those final 7 games of his rookie year.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, "Bye, Flacco." I was like, "Damn, guy that brought you back a Super Bowl." It's just how bad is this team has been consistently. So he won MVP in 2019, and then he won it last year.
Yeah.
And this is easily his best.
His best season.
Easily
I think it would. I think it will be him or Josh Allen that wins it.
I feel like it has to be him at this point. Like I don't want to take anything against Josh Allen. It sucks that Josh Allen's having this great season, but like what's happening? 36. He went 36-6 his first 36 touchdowns, 6 picks, and then this year he's 41 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. That's an insane. Yeah. That's freaking wild. So yeah, I mean that's that. We got playoff selected. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, you can head over to Twitch and watch Micah's side of it, him go through his bracket. This will stay up here on YouTube. But this will be on Spotify. I think I'm gonna put this out. When is the first game on Saturday?
4:30.
I'll probably put the Spotify episode out on noon. So just so it's out there, just for the heck of it, so I can put it out there and people can't be like, "Oh, you made your picks after." I'd be really sad if the Texans win that first game. It's like, well, my bracket's busted.
Is it? Not really.
I guess not really. I'm just thinking of like,
really, you're screwed. You're screwed if the Steelers somehow beat the Ravens.
If the Steelers win, I will drive to Baltimore and riot with everybody else if the Steelers somehow win that game. Yeah, because like either side, yeah, either way, it's gonna be a good playoff. So yeah.
Yeah.
Thank everyone that watched. Thank you everyone that is currently listening slash watching slash listening and watching. And we'll do more streams like this again at some point.
One day.
One day we'll probably once we, you know what, next round, if the matchups are correct, we can do a Bills and Ravens stream.
Yes.
We'll play that game out. That sounds like a lot of fun. I haven't played much of Madden. I feel like you played more than me.
Just a little bit.
A little bit that I played was a little clunky, but you know what? We'll get into the Madden stuff later.
Yeah.
So awesome. Well, thank you guys, and ending this.